Welcome to this course Basic Manufacturing Process Unit 2 Lecture 29 Metal Farming Continue. Agenda for today metal farming in this series continue hot working and cold working, hot working and its properties, advantage of hot working and disadvantage and limitation of hot working and cold working properties. Hot working advantage and limitation of hot working because the high temperature of the metal there is the rapid oxidation and scaling of the surface is the surface with the econo- accompanying poor surface finish difficult to achieve closed tolerance closed tolerance due to the scaling. Some metal cannot be hot worked because of the brittleness at high temperatures. Hot working equipment and maintenance are cost are high. Its properties. Cold working is does as the temperature below on working at the recrystallization temperature, no applicable recovery can take place during the deformation. Hardening is not eliminated since the working is done below the recrystallization temperature. Decrease the elongation reduction of areas decrease the elongation and reduction of area. Cold working properties of cold working and process decrease the elongation reduction of area, increase in ultimate tensile strength, yield point, hardness. Good surface finish is obtained. Good surface finish. Crystallization does not occur. Grains are only elongated. Possibility of cracks formation and propagation is the great. Internal residual stress are developed in the metal. Force required for the deformation is high. Heavy and power equipment used for the cold working is for the handle the cold parts. Cold working process are cold rolling, cold extrusion, press and work, drawing, squeezing, bending, and shearing. Cold working advantage of the cold working increase the strength and hardness of the metal of the material due to the grain hardening, which would be beneficially in some situations. Further, there is no possibility of the carburization of the surface since the working is done on the cold state. Cold states hence no oxidation of the surface and consequently good surface finish is obtained. Great, Greater dimensional accuracy in achieved. He said to the handle of the cold parts also il- eco- economically and small size. Better mechanical properties is according achieved to this process. Code working disadvantage and limitation of the code working. Only small size of component can be easily worked together to greater force are required for large session. So, due to large deforming force, heavy and expensive capital equipment is required to grain structure is not refined as the residual stress have the harmful effect harmful effect certain property of materials. Many of the metal have less ductility. Carbon steel and certain alloy steel cannot be cold work at room temperature. They, it is therefore limited to ductile metals. The large shape of produce is not a wide it can be obtained by machining. Tooling costs are high, and as the such it is used when the large quantity of similar component are required. Farming. What is the farming? Farming can be defined as the method of shaping heated metal to compression. Farming process evaluate from the manual for simple blank smithing. The special tools that the ba- blacksmith use as a various kind of die, swag, swages, and flowers. Modern farming use the machines driven impact hammers press which deform the work price by the controlled pressure. The farming process is superior to casting in the part of format have the desire. The microstructure more defined grain patterns, the less porosity, making such as the part of stronger than as the casting. Farming usually have great strength compared to with other methods of the producing the products. Farming operation continue. Farming is the oldest method working process. Farming is the oldest working process because it just requires heating, heating the hammering of metals. Man found it easy. The following farming operations are performed: drawing down of the swinging, the process of increased length and decreasing the cross sectional area of the metal. Increase this process drawing down of the swing. This process is increase the length and decreasing the cross sectional area of the metal is known as the drawing. The compressive force, hammering, pressing or applied the perpendicular to the length of excess of the metal piece. Thank you so much.